WordPress, right? Okay. Who else goes onto your WordPress?
I don't
You know what,
that is.
yeah, I'm not even aware, that's the platform for whatever you're calling it, it's the,
Yeah, but, I'm forgetting your name that updates with the commissioners meeting.
Oh, Bonadie.
Bonadie, I think, if I can't get in touch with Ron, maybe me and you could have a call where I could log in with you, or you could share your login, so I can see the WordPress backend.
Right.
That,
I have no idea what WordPress is, so, I mean, yes, next week I'm gonna be here Monday and Tuesday. And half a day
how do
Wednesday.
you log in to make the updates to your website?
Well, Ron sent me the link, and so every time I go into my emails and I go to Ron's folder and I just click on it and it comes up.
can you,
It's
is that
okay.
maybe a link you could
So
forward?
let's see if I can get in touch with Ron. If I can't,
How about if I forward you that link?
oh yeah, do you want to do it now? Let me just,
Do I have her email?
I just want to see if I'll probably peek at it later, but I want to see if I need a permission or a verification to get into the link. Sometimes that. You can do it later too, but sometimes I'll need there's a security
Yeah, I'm
step
with
a lot
you,
of times.
it'll take you somewhere, but then it'll be, now what? I mean, won't let you in, but no, okay, so while she's doing that, we got another meeting here at 2, but this is excellent, by the way.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Is the idea that, so the way I see it is the next step for you to give us a proposal to pursue making these changes?
It is, but before I can give you the proposal, I would like to know if I can get access. If we don't have to rebuild the website, it's gonna save you lots of money
Yeah.
and time.
I'm with you, very
If we
good.
have to duplicate the website, it's gonna be a little more costly. And I need to see, can we export those files so we don't have to rebuild everything? So I think the next step is
Yeah.
me to try to get in touch with Ron, just see what we can do.
Okay,
And then if it goes crickets, I can give you a proposal for both. Like ideally, it would be nice if I could get into your WordPress site and
excellent, that's great.
see that.
See if you can't understand immediately what's smart, but if you gotta give us a proposal for both approaches, but let's only do that if we have to, so,
Can I send it to you?
Okay, let me look, I just want to click on it to see what kind of permissions I need, and then we can do it offline, so.
And it's just I put my name and last name and then a password. And I'm
Oh, it does
not-
have a password, okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'd be happy to give you my password, it's,
okay. But you can do that while.
well, it's up, do you wanna, you can give it to me now, I know these are,
Well, this is recorded.
This is
It's
recorded, so
recorded, so
she
yeah.
can email it to you.
yeah.
Probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, you can check it on our website.
I'll email it to you right now too.
well, good. Yeah, do that now, and then I'm going to log in, and then I'll do this later, I just wanna make sure I can log in.
Okay,
Password,
well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna probably have to sign off for our other meeting, but
oh, okay, so.
where we sit
Okay,
is,
I'll just circle back with you, if I can't get back in, I'll,
okay.
tell you I need a
But
minute.
you should, in theory, if you have Bonadie's name and password, you should be able to get in there.
In theory, but a lot of times these computers are like, we don't recognize your device, we just send a verification.
No, I'm with you, okay.
So sometimes, I don't know, I feel like, I love to make a joke, I'm like, it's easier to rob a bank than it is to like access your Facebook account or your emails from a different device.
No, maybe you're right, because most of them have costs associated. Like if, you can only watch Netflix from a certain thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But, well, okay, so anything, you got anything else that you wanna?
No, just email me that password, and if I have issues, I will circle back with you next week, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna put together an email for Ron, because I think we still need who your web host is, that's gonna,
Okay.
that will be key.
To be honest with you, Veronica, I'm a little surprised that hasn't been. I know you probably asked for it, but
Well, I did, but I didn't follow up, you know what, I was like, you know what, I don't need that right now because this needs assessment still has to happen. So I
Okay.
wanted to make sure I got the needs assessment and that, you know,
Okay.
we're at the point now, I'm like, okay, I'll nag again.
Very, very good.
I'll nudge. Okay, so I'll let you guys go, but one of these, just got the,
All right.
That's top secret. You can't even share that with us.
I'm not going to.
All right, well, I really appreciate it. Good work.
I
kinda
sent
walked
you the
this-
stuff.
I'm totally in, so I don't need verification, so I'll kind of peek around and what's going on here, and then, that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'll
Okay.
get back to you guys.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll talk later. All right.
Bye, have a great weekend.
Yep, you too, thanks.
Okay.
You're good, you're clear, I'll send you my little notes.
Thank you.
No, we need to take detailed notes,
Uh-huh, whatever.
almost transcription.
Yeah, word by word.
How are you guys?
Doing good. We're actually, feels like work today, doesn't it?
Uh-oh.
You guys have been busy.
Productive work?
We have been,
I don't know,
we need to get
every week.
prepared for our meeting with Teresa Good.
Yeah.
That's all
We've
we
been
do.
waiting all day for this trip.
Oh, the highlight of your day is the highlight of my day. I actually spent the day, a really good part this whole morning with our team in the Weir
Alright.
building. Yeah, they did their site visit for destructive assessment and just to get to, problem solve as a team about what to do in the southwest corner with the discovery that they've had. And it was really neat to watch 3 professionals that are very well educated and with a lot of experience, like bounce ideas off each other and stay open. And usually my experience with construction projects is it's one way to do it, this way we're doing it, and
Yeah.
that's it.
No arguments.
Oh, and don't tell me my way's wrong, and it's very one way or the highway. The morning has been really neat to watch these guys. What if we did this? What if we do this? And they were all open to problem solving and trying to figure out what's more. And then when John would say, oh no, that'll be more cost effective because I've been shopping these.
Okay.
And so it was really neat to see the team work like that. So they have, with the discovery of the dirt pile situation,
Yeah.
they are working on that idea that John and Jim, the structural engineer, both had to create a footer and a retaining wall around the existing, the dirt that we're going
Yeah.
to leave to stabilize it, and then backfill it to a certain height, but not all the way to the, just so that if people need to get in there, they can, they can get
Yeah.
over the wall. And then
With
Emery's.
the back feeling it, is the idea is to give the retaining wall a little bit, I'm trying to understand why they wanna do that.
The way I understand it, so this could be not 100% accurate, but the way I understand it, and we could have a meeting, like it may be good for your answer
Yeah.
to attend the next
Okay.
Tuesday meeting,
Tuesday meeting,
which is our next Tuesday. I think it's this Tuesday.
the 29th.
This is why I carry my memory around with me. Yes, it's the 29th at 11 a.m.
And do you usually meet over there, or where do you meet?
It's virtual.
Okay, so you sent a link,
Yes,
so I should actually.
it's in your
should be-
calendar, and so you can attend from anywhere. It's a virtual meeting that I think Chris set up.
Actually, I don't have it.
Oh, you don't have it every other week?
No, I do not.
Uh-oh.
That happens with a lot of me.
I thought he added you guys, but it's Chris's link, so I can share it with you guys.
Okay,
Um,
if you just forward it,
I
we'll,
think I can do that.
yeah, you can forward it, it'll tell him that you've added somebody and.
Okay, well, I can't add you to actually the meeting invite. I can share with you the invite, but because I didn't create the meeting.
You can forward the meeting. and-
Right. I'll forward the information.
Well, not just, you just click on it and it'll
Forward
forward.
the invite.
Yeah, like, I think, I think you gotta write, well, yeah, it gives you a forward option with every appointment you got. It gives you a forward option. I have found that the reason is whenever I get your invites, I forward them to my Gmail, and that way I can put it on my Google Calendar. So I got everything on my calendar.
Maybe it lets me do it on my computer. It's not allowing that on my phone.
Okay.
So I will send you the invite.
But I'm thinking, you know, so you've got this wall you're gonna build, and then you're gonna backfill a certain height. I'm assuming the way that you backfill is it'll stabilize the wall a little bit.
I think it's designed to stabilize the remaining dirt.
Yeah, but
So
it'll
it's
help,
to
it'll
let
help
the wall-
yeah.
It's
yeah.
letting the wall serve as the stabilizing
Yeah.
force on the remaining dirt, so that we didn't compromise any of the integrity there.
Okay.
And then the west wall plan, where there's no wall, is they're going to link into that retaining wall, but they're gonna basically do what John proposed, to put some forms in place, pour basically concrete filler wall there, and then they talked about adding 3/4 to 1.5 inch road mix at a 1 inch per foot grade to fill in. You know, they have to pull up that concrete in the back to access all that, and then that's how they fill that wall.
Okay.
I think they do that at the end because that gives them automatic access to the basement. I mean, it would allow
Yeah.
them to put the,
Well, I've always wondered how they're gonna get the concrete in the basement for the footing.
right, well, he was planning on going through the floor. Buckets? I think he was planning on going through the floor, like the back door or the back window
Okay,
or
good,
something. But if he doesn't have to, if he can get the chute in through that open spot there,
That's wrong.
that may cause less repair work or whatever. I haven't asked that question. So those are great construction questions you could bring to that meeting if
Okay.
you're available.
Yeah, I'll try. Tuesday's pretty good, actually.
Okay, good, it's 11 o'clock. So then we went upstairs and Emery and Jim validated my concerns about the sinking of the roof there. And they actually instructed John to stabilize that beam. But, you know, when you walk up the stairs and you turn to the right and then you look across and that beam is the one that's like this. He has, they haven't been up there in a while, so they were able to bring that kind of perspective to it. And he did have stabilization of the beam that's east and west, but they've instructed him, and they talked about how he could put temporary shoring up there
Okay.
to stabilize the north-south beam. And he actually, after they talked about it, and I actually physically showed him the pictures that I had emailed the group, he was like, oh, that has settled quite a bit. So he's actually Monday, he's gonna lift it.
Okay.
So that at least that beam that's going north and south is raised to the east-west height and stable.
But he'll be lifting it from the second floor?
Yes,
So
so
they-
they talked about that. They talked about putting cross members
Uh-huh.
east and west. And Jim suggested like he's gonna use a 2x10 or 12 or something. And Jim said just put a second one right on top of it and that'll disperse the weight even more. So they sort of strategized about how to temporarily shore it without having shoring underneath it on the
That's
first
what,
floor.
yeah, okay, I'm with you, all right, very good.
So that was the plan for that, and then he said, I'm actually gonna lift it because, that sinking is actually compromising our temporary roof. So you can see light through the roof and there's just some general, and what Emery said is they see that, you know, there's just some general stretching of the fabric and the membrane. And so we're hoping if he lifts it, maybe that'll
Heal up,
heal up a little bit, or we may need to have Leroy back out and just have him,
throw another layer on it.
yeah, or Jim, they also started talking about, what if we take the roof off and work from the top down and gets this weight off of my
Yes,
first floor?
Yes, yes.
So we don't have to lift the roof,
Yes, and
and
you're
then
gonna
put
have
a
to do
tent-
that anyway.
yeah. And then, so they talked about that, but the problem with that is, well, I just said, if you do that, you still have to figure out what to do with the water that is gonna fall from the sky, because that is the way that this whole area drains right now. That
Well, that's a
whole,
good point, that's an excellent point.
so they're strategizing how they can, but there's no sense of raising the second floor and have that extra load and having that difficulty. So I get it, I just like, we're in conversation about it and how to keep it dry.
See, the way I understood it, and I realize it doesn't really matter because they're working through it, is there was this temporary shoring and permanent shoring that starts from the basement, and then, so there's permanent and temporary shoring at the basement off the footers, and then on this first floor, there's temporary shoring up to the second floor. And then there can be some, now you've got something that you're putting it all over. So, you know, so my kind of thinking, the critical path was to get the temporary and the permanent shoring in as the first things you do. And, well, maybe I'll learn a lot from attending that, but I'm absolutely confident that it's in the best hands. They're working through it. I like the idea of getting rid of that roof if you're gonna get rid of it anyway. But you're right, what do you do with it if it rains?
But I want him to do that, like, after his footing's in place and he's like fast tracked to get all the shoring done. Because you can't lollygag around without a roof on your building, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
right now, I see him making progress, but it's not like impressive right
Okay.
now. This week wasn't impressive to me. So, they did do a lot of the demo of that office and they're not working today for some reason, cause they took off Monday because, you know, we had to get clearance from the hazmat guys. So, but Jim's in there by himself, so I'm gonna go stop by and be sure everything's locked up and be sure he's off the ladder. Got a 70-year-old man on top of a 12-foot ladder, that does not make me happy, I have to say. But, I was hoping that he'd have
We can
people.
hide the body.
I love Jim. I don't want anything happening to him, not a scraped elbow. What else did we talk about? We talked about the roofing plan, and they sort of suspect that first single-story roof is gonna need at least sheathing and possibly, ceiling joists may need to be replaced if the rot's that bad.
In that southwest area, is
In the single-story roof, the single-story building area, so the middle of the building.
that, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's the one
That's the one
area.
that's sagging?
No, that's the one that has just one story. You know, that's in the middle of the building.
Is it
Yeah.
lower?
It's lower than the rest of the building. That's sort of U-shaped around it.
Okay. So they're thinking they'll have to pull up the plywood and put new plywood down?
Yes, and possibly some joists, depending on what they discover. So John suggested some language for the roofing bid document. He said if you can get them to bid like per sheet cost, and then just say we only want the sheeting replaced that's needed. He said, cause otherwise they're gonna be replacing the whole area,
Yeah.
which could be expensive.
Sometimes they call it a unit cost, and then, but it's best to give them a feel for quantities when you do a unit cost and say, you know, consider
Okay.
X amount of square feet of sheathing at a, you know, because your unit cost is quantity dependent usually. So
Okay.
I'm sure Jim knows how to deal with that, but that's how I would've looked at that too, cause when they tear the roof up, they'll see where it's rotted and where it needs to be replaced.
That's why they're in the building today, to sort of assess how the roof is and what we need to put in our bid documents to replace the roof on the northern part of the building, the entire building.
Right,
But, he was saying that, yeah, I can get up there and look at this area, but then that area may be worse. So just destructively assessing one area only tells you how that one area is.
yeah,
So when they do the roofing, they may discover other things, so, they were talking about how they can put that in the bid document, so it's sort of discovery based, but it's also,
well, you give sort of a basic quantity, and then if your actuals deviate significantly, you'll have to renegotiate the actuals.
okay. Well, that'd be good for you to bring that to this meeting, because that was, I was open to that, but then you really have to trust your roofer, because they
Well-
can just get up there and go, oh yeah, that needs to be
Well,
replaced.
typically though, before he replaces it, he's gotta get somebody to say, yeah.
Oh, so he would work with,
He'd tear the roof off and he'd say, I think these need to be replaced, and he'd say, yeah, go ahead, you know.
okay. Well, the good thing that we were seeing when I was with them is what we think is rotting, but what we don't think is rotting is in good shape. Like even better shape than you would expect, any kind of new lumber or anything like that.
Really?
Yeah, they're really impressed with, like, just the status of the whole south wall on the first floor. Like Emery said, if High Plains ends up doing the renovations, they probably leave that entire wall because it's so in such good shape.
Hmm.
And so, and it's insulated by the north, by Bill Teason's
Oh, yeah.
building, and so there's the structural elements that we're protecting, that they're historic, are just exceptionally good quality wood. And that's what, yeah, I hear.
On the whole building, leaning on Bill's building, isn't it?
We're not letting Bill's building go anywhere.
You should drop that hint to Bill.
Yeah. And I think I can see.
You know, we
it.
have water issues, I wonder if our building is,
Okay, and I think that's
It
really,
wouldn't
let's
take
see.
it very long, he'd be sending us a bill.
So, you know those windows in the basement, the
Yeah.
4 windows that they have? Just in the southwest corner, so we're not dealing with anything out of our work area, because that would be additional scope, and we can if you guys want to, but we committed to the community,
Well, I'm with
fix
you.
up the southwest area. And so what John is proposing is to put, ICF and fill it. Do you know what that is? They all knew what it was, I didn't ask, cause they all agreed that if that works, it works, and if not, they could do block, they could block in.
I figured they just brick it up.
Well, so they could block it in and then fill the block is what Jim was telling me, like if you use block, you have to
Fill
fill
the
the
block.
block.
Yeah.
So, they agreed on 2 different approaches,
ICF, what the hell is that?
yeah, and then fill the ICF. Yeah, so I didn't ask any more detail on that, but they all agreed that that's a good plan and it's, SHPO approved and,
Wow. Nothing worse than an empty ICF.
It almost sounds like an inappropriate,
Yeah.
okay, so.
ICF forms. ICF foam blocks. super
Yes.
foam.
It was foam blocks.
Strongest block in the market, creates safer,
Yeah.
sustainable, energy efficient structures.
Yeah,
I guess I should have known that. I built my whole basement out of those.
you did?
Yes.
You didn't know they were called ICF?
No,
Insulated
I call them full
concrete
blocks.
forms.
So evidently, I think, and he's working with S&K over here, John is, and they have moved to a different way of filling things, so they have all this leftover stuff that he can use that's still in perfect shape.
Really?
So he's gonna use that for some of his forms, so we'll be able to maybe find some cost savings there.
Excellent.
So the only addition that I know to the scope of work is the retaining wall. You know, the footer for the retaining wall and the retaining wall itself, but hopefully all these cost savings that John's coming up with, he said to me in front of them, but Emery understood it differently, that I promised no change orders. And I said, okay, I'm hoping for that, and I thanked him for that, but we'll just see what he has to say.
Yeah.
But he is talking about pulling up some of the, you know where the void is in the alley?
Yeah.
So they're talking about removing 8 feet of that, so 8 feet west of the building, a north-south line, and maybe, I don't know, probably it's 10 feet of the slab, north to south, and just removing that whole thing so they can access the void that's there and deal with it properly. And then putting some road fill in there, you know, like putting the
Yeah.
insulated barrier there, having the wall there. But actually what they recommended, instead of pouring more concrete in there that a developer's just gonna have to remove anyway, to put actually road fill in there and put it, Jim gave him the specs that this grade so that the water shears off of it. He actually instructed him to put, 8 mil plastic double layered underneath the top layer of gravel that he puts on it so that it keeps just a barrier to any kind of moisture. But they were all really confident that that would keep that area completely dry. So that may be an addition to scope, but hopefully it won't be very costly.
So the scope additions though, those go into the contingency, right?
I hope not, but yes.
Because what I'm
technically.
afraid of is when he says no change orders, he's gonna use the contingency. And say, well, I had to use the contingency.
So that is, I regret us even putting a contingency in there, especially the way he negotiated his contract with that. But regardless.
Well, the
it's-
idea is if you think this is a change, because we need to, you know, with Emory, how are we gonna manage, so in my mind, if you're gonna have to add scope, you start dipping into the contingency, and that gets, you know, it's based on an actual cost.
Right.
So we'll see, but I'm afraid he's thinking he has that contingency to use how he feels fit.
I don't think so. I think his reputation and what he said to us that I don't do change orders because
All right,
I'm
we'll see.
confident in my bid.
All right?
And he says he's committed to helping the county stay in budget. So I think he has some cost savings that we're recognizing. He doesn't have fencing up right now. He's taken over the fence. That's one thing I want to tell y'all. He's taken over the fencing contract at $75 a month. But still, he has, and he's been using the toilets or his team has been using the toilets that the hazmat cleanup people have been doing. And I actually need to take a.
That's okay.
Let me take this in case Jim needs me.
Very good.
Hey, Jim.
Hope he didn't fall off
Probably wouldn't be called.
the ladder.
Oh, excellent. Thank you for doing
Try
that.
to tell.
Right. Okay. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you for securing everything and have a great weekend. All right. Take care. Be safe and sound. He just wanted to let us know they turned off the electric and locked the doors. So
Okay, okay.
he's a great guy. What were we talking about?
No, I think, you know, you're just gonna have to see.
Oh, yes. So I talked to Emery about that because there are some cost savings that he's recognizing that I know of and that he's asking for payment for, saying that he's incurred this cost. So I talked to Emery about that because I said I don't see those. And she said, well, I'll have that conversation at the next payout. We will set some
See, those are the
strong-
things that he's trading against this other stuff.
Yes.
And
And I think he's doing that, and I mean, I think that's the way John works. And Emery was sort of, she was saying, I'm gonna ask for a deductive change order. I'm like, he won't do it.
yeah,
So, and I don't wanna get into that.
yeah, the relationship, but honestly, if he's, like, I do think what they've discovered in that southwest section's a legitimate change, but if he's saying, look, I'm not gonna charge you this because I told you I wasn't gonna have any change orders, well, he has to be able to win in certain,
Yeah, win and lose in certain. And we know he didn't take out 2 dump loads of dirt.
yeah.
He is being paid for. That he had an estimate for removing that entire dirt pile. But if we tried to remove that whole dirt pile because of the